Hey guys, millions of Americans continue to feel the pinch of inflation and run down by poor working conditions, so no wonder we're seeing an influx of strikes this year. So what's the best way to go about asking for better working conditions or more money? Here to help out, Trey Barnett. Trey's the Regional Director of Business Consulting Firm Robert Haft. Trey, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk, we'll get into the money part in a second, but for some workers, are there other perks that are just as, if not more important than more money?
Yeah, well, number one, salaries are always number one. That's top priority. But secondly, after that, we're finding out that flexibility is key. And then lastly, inflation. Right now, we all know that prices of things are going up. I'm a grocery shopper for my family. I've seen how eggs have gone up over the last couple of years.
Sure.
We're finding out that people are looking to get raises this year.
So if it's not a raise and it's other working conditions, and a lot of this comes from the whole work at home, right? Mm-hmm. How negotiable is that right now, as far as if you want to maybe have more time at home rather than come into the office?
Very negotiable, at least for a hybrid schedule. People right now want to have the flexibility. They want their voice heard for when, where, and how they work.
Is that easier to negotiate than more money, or is it about the same?
It's about the same, and what we're finding from our studies, especially in DC, people will forego taking a higher salary if they can work on a flexible schedule.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering about, is where that line would be. All right, let's talk about getting more money, because that, for most people, like you said, it's number one. It helps in every aspect of life. How do you go about that process? I mean, at what point do you, if the boss doesn't come to you, at what point do you go to them and say, this is what I feel I'm worth?
Yeah, we're finding out that workers, especially in DC, are making serious mistakes with that. Here at Robert Half, we recommend an acronym, RAP. R is for reflect and research, A is for act, and P is for prepare. So reflect. Look at your past history and see the last time that you actually had a raise. Act, like you just said. If your boss is not coming to you and you haven't actually had a salary conversation the last year, go to them and prepare. Practice it out. Have mentors, other people at the company that you can talk about before you actually do that.
How do you know how much to ask for?
Well, great question to ask, and honestly, do your research. One thing that we have, we put out every single year, is our 2024 salary guide. It has all the prevailing salaries for any position, for any industry.
So you go through this process, and then maybe you have success, maybe you get turned down. Should you wait like 6 months to do it again? Should you wait a year? Should you go in like a month later and say, hey, I just checked all these other accomplishments?
Yeah, really good question. It's a two-way process, right? You want to ask the questions, what do I need to do to actually show that
While you're in that first meeting with the boss?
Yes, correct, yes. If there's things that you need to show from a work standpoint, you want to make sure you're doing that on the front end so you know the next time you need to go in there and ask that. So,
okay, I want to follow up on that in a second, but when I make that first initial meeting with the boss, what should I have, I guess, in my toolkit, right? Obviously, I want to show accomplishments, right? Because we want to sell ourselves as to how we're helping the company.
Correct.
What do I need, I guess, to prove that works the best as far as getting rewarded with more money?
Well, again, accomplishments you want to have, number one. Number two, you want to know what's going on with your salaries in that industry. And then number three, your value add, right? What do you want to do actually outside of what you're doing right now? Is it going upper mobility or taking on more tasks in a lateral capacity?
All right, and then if we don't get the raise, if the boss is just like, you're doing a great job, but you know, we're strapped, whatever, we can't give out more money right now, how do we use that to our advantage then? Is that the time where we say, what do I need to do moving forward?
Yes, that is the time to do that. But also too, right now, it is such a good time for employees to look for positions elsewhere too. By utilizing the salary guide, you can see if there's other companies right now that are hiring and then exactly what prevailing salary they have.
Are there any particular lines of work right now that are hiring where you might have a better chance than another to get more money?
I've been in this business for 22 years, and right now we're seeing staff accountants, software engineers, in-house lawyers, UX engineers, and HR managers are top. But to be honest with you, all industries, all positions right now are being hired.
Last thing, if you have an offer from somebody else, if somebody wants to bring you on board, clearly you've got leverage when you go to the boss and ask for more money. If you don't have that, should you say that you do? Like, how do you find that leverage, I guess, if you're going in looking for something?
Yeah, again, do your homework, right? You want to make sure you know exactly what's with your industry, with your position, and again, have all that information when you're talking to your boss.
All right, wishing everybody the best. Thanks for joining us this morning. I appreciate it, Trey.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you this morning. Trey Barnett, Regional Director of Business Consulting Firm Robert Half. All right, Halleck, back to you.
Good notes. Thanks, Steve. Still ahead here on Good Day at 9 a.m. It is National Bullying Prevention Month, and the Choose Kindness Project is going to join us with how to help lead and lend a helping hand instead of a fist. Plus, Bronny's next move, a hopeful update following the basketball star's big health scare over the summer. We're going to have the details just on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Good Day DC.
To keep the world spinning, it takes all kinds of kinds.
Here, anything is possible, as long as you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real.
You didn't choose cat allergies. You didn't choose your hairline, hot flashes, the flu, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. You didn't choose your bad back, or this, or that. You didn't choose depression, melanoma, or lactose intolerance. But with Kaiser Permanente, you can choose your doctor who works with other best-in-class specialists to care for all that is you.
Your dirty vents may be telling you something. Pounds of dirt, dust, and contaminants are trapped in your air ducts. That's why you need a professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer. We've been cleaning air ducts the right way for over 25 years.
Caller, no fit stamp yet, but we're working $2 billion at
Butler's Orchard.
And now we have to ask for more. This company, find out what.
Obviously, you've got all the